Good morning, my name is Paul. Today I have for you a 2021 Landrover Defender 90 P400 X. So the P400 is a 3-litre 6-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, very smooth, plenty of power, and the X means it's got a good level of specification. Now we've also got some very nice options on top of that, which I'll run through with you in a second. The colour is my favourite colour for this model, and it's called Gondwana Stone, which is a nice metallic colour. On top of that, this has a factory fitted satin PPF, and that gives this car a really individual styling. When you offset the colour against the gloss black package that the car has, I think you'll agree it really does look the part. I'd like to show you around. So Gondwana Stone, it's almost got a sort of a khaki quality, but if I come in close to it, if I go on the sun side, you can see that it's actually really metallic. And if I go around to the other side, the door handles are in the original gloss colour that you can see. So it's a gloss metallic paint, and then you can see around here, because I never tend to wrap the door handles, then you can see the difference between the gloss and the satin. And the satin, funnily enough, brings out the metallic even better than the gloss does. So as well as looking really cool with the satin finish, the full body PPF, and you can see, if you look really closely, wake up, you can feel more than see. You can see and feel all the panels are coated, which is going to keep this paintwork looking a lot nicer for a lot longer. It's just lovely. And you can see there, it's on all the painted surfaces. A very cool looking car, and you offset that against the black. Oh, it's a good looking car. So mileage wise, as a 21 plate car, this is done just a touch over 1200 miles from new. It's so low mileage, it's so fresh inside. The condition of the car really does show the mileage very well. It's sitting on these big Style 5098 gloss black wheels. You can see the size of the discs are large, and then you've got these lovely coloured calipers with the Range Rover logo tucked behind the wheels to protect this lovely gloss black under here. You've got these nice, strong, substantial mud flaps. Again, all designed to keep this looking nicer for longer, because it doesn't suffer from stones flicking up from the tyres. And then you can see here Gondwana Stone and then gloss black, the Defender X insignia on the side, and then there you can see you've got the steps which help you to get in and out of this car. The bonnet is a contrasting black. You've got this nice tread plate style finish here. Unlike the old Land Rover, are you likely to stand on that? Not really. But the gloss black, if I just show you the reflection in that paintwork, is looking really good. It's looking very good. So the bicolour extends to the front. So here you can see more sort of a gold sand finish here, and then you can see the brushed metal panel here, and then underneath you've got a guard. So if you do go over anything which would normally damage anything under the car, that's going to give, especially the front part of the engine, a lot of protection from any objects that you might, if you're off-road, go over, or whatever, any kind of obstacles that might get in the way. The Defender badge, nice contrasting, ties the whole thing in really nicely. So from every angle, the colour combination of the gloss black and the Gondwana Stone really works well. You can see the black styling pack goes through to the mirrors. Now I'm sure you can hear this, but it's quite breezy today. You can see the black roof, which has a panoramic sliding roof with a full length blind. The optional orange towing eyes on either side there, and then you can see the condition underneath is as lovely as you could possibly hope for with a car that's only done 1200 miles from new. Full size spare. If I just pop open the rear door, you can see a rear door that hasn't suffered any bashing against anything that's inside the car. All lovely condition, the trademark sort of utilitarian look, which I love for this car. And then there's a nice thick carpet which goes over this very rugged rear floor, which, if I pull that up as well, gives you lock and wheel nut, jack and what have you, and all your tools, and that just clips back into place like that. We have 3-pin socket on this side, and we have standard car charging point here, and then we also have air suspension. I'll show you from the front. So the air suspension, you can see there the gap between the wheel and the wheel arch. The air suspension gives you different ride heights, which helps you in terms of getting over obstacles, wading, so if you're going through puddles and that sort of thing. Now, as you get towards the end of the summer, we do tend to see a lot of water, so you get floods and fords and that sort of thing, and a lot of cars will get stuck or not want to go any further. With this car, I'm just going to, it's in its middle setting, I'm just pressing that button now, and I'm just going to drop that down. You can see my camera phone is now level. So here we have about a palm's width, 4 fingers between the top of the wheel and the wheel arch. Hopefully I can do this without the engine running. And if I press this button here, and I'm going to hold the camera steady, and you can see this line against the fence. You can see the car is now rising. That's a good level of travel there. The back comes up first and then the front. And there we go. It's now. So now you can see my palm. I could do that more than twice. So you've got 6 inches of travel. So 2'6" is the wading depth at the lowest point. 2'9" at the middle option, and 2'11" of wading depth, which increases your ground clearance when it's at its highest setting. That means that when everyone else is teetering at the edge of the ford or the edge of the flood, you will be able to just drive through it without any worry at all. And you can see it, you can hear there the air being let out of the system. That makes quite a bit of difference. So the textured finish, the checkerboard finish at the back of the seats, this is designed to be rugged, so you can put heavy things and bits and pieces in the back without doing lots of damage. You can see there the panoramic roof is letting a lot of light in. I'm sat under the shade here because it's a lot easier taking photographs when there's a bit of shade. And then you can see the signature side lamps. They're called side lights, but the side quarter windows really. And black headlining. Everything looking very nice and very fresh, very new. These can pop down to give you more view out of the top, but there's another feature there which I'm going to explain to you in a second. So, a very usable car. Sunroof and the styling, a very nice usable car in the summer. Off-road capabilities and wading and ground clearance, brilliant in the winter. So you can see the design around the door here is very much like the rear door. You've got this quite utilitarian look. I do like that, and you can see the exterior colour through here in its normal gloss form. You've got the Defender tread plate, and then here we have the ebony leather seats, and you have perforations here in the center section. I'll show you in a second, but behind those perforations you have fans. So you have heated seats and you have cooling seats as well. So on a hot day when you jump in, it'll blow cool air through here and through here to help make you more comfortable. I'm just going to pop that forward. I'm going to press that button, and then you can see that moves the seat forward to give you better access to the back. Certainly all the way. So now you can see that's a lot easier to get in and out. You've got a nice fitted carpet all the way around. Fits in here and here. 3 headrests, the middle one I've just popped down. 3 3-point seat belts. So this is a true 5-seater, and you can see there's plenty of leg room for the rear passengers as well. A nice place to be. Now on both sides we have this plug and a 5-volt charging socket, so you can put devices in here or hang something on there or unplug it, and that will just pull out. So that's a nice option, or a nice feature. Just going to pop that back again. And now looking at the dashboard, the ebony leather you can see extends over the top of the dash through the grab rail. I'm just going to jump in. So the seats, you also have electric adjustable backwards and forwards, up and down. That does the back of the seat, and then you have your lumbar supports there, so they are very comfortable. Long journeys are an absolute doddle in one of these. I'm going to close the door because the wind is a little bit intrusive. And then here you can see somewhere to pop your shades. That opens and shuts the sunroof when the ignition is on, and you've got the powered blind, which completely closes that off if you want to close it off, really. You can see the Defender motif, another charging point here. You've also got a cigarette lighter or a charging point, USB and USB-C charging points. And because this car has the cold climate pack and the comfort pack, we have, at the moment, this shows as having an ashtray or a sweetie compartment, which you can take out and put somewhere else, and then you have 2 cup holders. If you don't want to use the cup holders but would quite like to use your charging system, you can move that around there, and you can have wireless charging if your phone supports it. If you'd like to have both, just pop that down there and you have both. So nice options there. I'll put that way around, and you can see if I just tuck underneath there, you've got more stowage space underneath there. And I'm going to pop my foot on the brake, press the start. It's going to leap into action. There we go. Lovely burble from that 6-cylinder engine. And then here we have a refrigerated cool box. So if you see this button here, if I press that, we've now lit up both lights. You've got cool, off, and very cool. So if you've got Mars bars, can of Coke, water, whatever you like, that helps to keep it cool. And because it's a top opening one and cool air tends to sink and hot air rises, that helps to keep this area nice and cool even when you've opened it to take something out. So that is a lovely option, and of course it also gives you this nice leather stitched armrest. So I'm just going to move my seat backwards just a little bit and move the electric control there will move there we go. That's a bit more comfortable. We'll move the steering wheel in and out and up and down. And then here you can see the dial. I'm going to zoom in there. 1214 miles from new. A very fresh looking car. The air conditioning comes up nice and cold, which is lovely. Now here is the button for your suspension. At the moment you're on what they call access setting, which is the lowest setting. If I press this button here, I can now see, I don't know if you can see that, the car is now moving. The back comes up first, then the front comes up. Now we're in the middle setting, and if I press that again, I can now feel it coming up again. There we go. Back and then front. And now we have the car at the highest setting. So if I look at this screen and I press for options here and I look at weight sensing, I can now see I've got a maximum 2'11" weight sensing, whereas if I drop it down to the middle, it's 2'9". You can see it's changing, and I drop it down again to access height. It now goes down to 2'6". So 2'6" is the car looks good at 2'6". It's easy to get people in and out, and if you're carrying something and you're putting it heavily, carrying something heavy to put in the boot, 2'6" is the access level. It makes that a lot easier for you. The air conditioning is 3 zones, so you've got similar at the back, which I will just show you here. So you can adjust the temperature at the back as well as you can at the front, and you just select your temperature with this dial. If you press the button, you've got a picture of a seat there now. So if I move that to the left, that has now engaged the fan in my seat, which is now cooling me as I sit on it. And if I turn it the other way, it engages the heat. And on both heat and cool, you've got 3 different settings. Press it again, it goes back to your air conditioning. And you can work it all without air conditioning on or with air conditioning. I don't know if you can see this, but inside the screen, you probably can't actually, it's a bit bright. Inside the screen there's a heat element in there. So on cold frosty mornings, or if it's snowing, you can press max. You've got all the vents are closed. It concentrates a blast on the screen, and it also engages the heater element on the front screen, which works very similarly to the rear screen, and it clears your screen really quickly. Press it again to turn them all off. Nice and easy, simple and straightforward. Volume control for the radio is here. So now moving forward, I don't know if you can see that. It's flashing on the camera, but it's not flashing for me. It's because of the refresh rate on the camera. But here we have a head-up display, and that shows you information such as navigation if you're using it, your speed. That is really handy if you're going through a camera area, if you've got a policeman behind you or what have you. It's a lot easier to just glance down and see what speed you're doing rather than looking down there and then back up there and then looking down there while you're driving. A really nice safety feature, and it does make for a much more relaxed drive. Now if I pop into reverse, just zoom out again. So I've got my foot on the brake. This is a pistol grip. I'm going to move the pistol grip into reverse, and now we can see that we've got a very, very clear reversing camera, and we've also got a 360-degree surround view. So I'm now going to turn the steering wheel to the left. Now, as I turn the steering wheel to the left, you can now see the trajectory line has changed on both. So now you can see where the car is going to go if I start moving. And I'll straighten the wheel up again, and you can see that changing back to straight. So that's really cool. That makes a huge difference. Although the door mirrors are large and they are very easy for parking, if it's dark and if it's raining and there's raindrops all over your mirrors, that makes parking a hell of a lot easier. So I'm going to pop it back into park. Also, on top of that, we have our rear view mirror, which is automatic dimming. There we go, my camera, there we go. So nice clear mirror. And if you can't see out of the back, if you've got 3 passengers or the rear is obstructed or it's raining and you can't see out of the back, if I flip that over, you can now see that has engaged the camera at the back of the car, which gives you a different view. Again, depending on what you're doing, where you're going, where you're trying to reverse. All of this is designed to make this car easier to drive, easier to get into parking spaces. So moving down to the steering wheel, lovely smooth leather, beautiful condition, lovely cross stitching all the way around there. But it looks like a brand new steering wheel. I know there's no appreciable signs of wear that I can see anywhere on it. There's a button here, one of my favorite things, heated steering wheel. In a couple of months that's going to be a really welcome addition. And then here you can see this is your cruise control, and there's there are two arrows backwards and forwards here, and they're really closer together there. That tells me that this car has radar assisted cruise control. So what that means is, if you're doing 70 miles an hour on the motorway and you set your cruise control, and someone comes out and pulls out in front of you and they're doing 60, 65 miles an hour, rather than you having to brake yourself, this car will recognize that there's a car in front of it, and it will slow down and keep pace with that car in front. Now, the reason you've got these two buttons here is because you can, depending on the driving conditions and your own comfort, you can either extend the gap between yourself and the car in front or close it up. So that is really good. It makes for motorway driving just a lot easier and a lot simpler. This button here drives that screen. We've got quite a classical view there at the moment with the two dials and the mileage at the top. If I press the center button, that brings us a new menu. So I can go left and right, which I'll do now. I can adjust the head-up display and I can change the layout. So if I now use the up and down button, I'm going to flick down and I'm going to show you how I can change from two dials to one dial, from one dial to a full map. And once that disappears, that will become, there we go, a full map. But I shall just come back and go back into two dials. So this is a customizable screen. You can see what you want to see there rather than what the car wants to tell you. So, which is nice. Very nice surroundings. It's still got the smell of new leather. The engine feels and sounds absolutely lovely. And it's just a really nice place to be. It's just as nice on the inside as it is on the outside. And if diesel isn't your thing, that six-cylinder petrol engine with 400 horsepower and turbochargers is incredibly smooth. It delivers power really well. Of course, the 400 horsepower doesn't mean you can stick your foot to the floor and disappear off at the road like a scolded cat. Well, you can, but it's not what this car is designed to do. What it means is it means that the driving of this car is effortless. So I hope you like the car. I hope you like the video and find the video useful. If you'd like to know more about the car, please visit our website, www.bramshawebv.com. Drop us an email or a text or a WhatsApp, or just pick up the phone and speak to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Thank you for watching.